England and Australia, folks. 42-37. Who saw that coming? England had a 15-3 lead and were looking like they were cruising. The Wallabies had a massive comeback. They were leading 28-18. Also managed to go behind, but the last try is the one that wins it. Didn't see it coming from this end. Aussies were big underdogs. Bad record at Twickenham. Bad record against England. Debutant professional rugby player in at 13 for this one. But they get the win. I can't believe it. It was just such a good game. Better than yesterday. What can I say? We'll go through some key events and some stats. You guys can let us know your thoughts. England started this game really well. Really well. Marcus Smith pulling the strings. Forwards getting some big carries. All the possession, all the territory. Cunning himself. 2 tries in the first few minutes. An Aussie penalty, the only reply. Angus Bell, nice rip, but Cunning himself finishes off the first move. Second one from kind of a quick tap. England, like 12-3 lead. Aussies, as I said, just the one penalty in reply. Cunningham South had a lot of involvement because he scored 2 tries and gave away a penalty, which led to 3 points for the Aussies early on. So 12-3 lead. Helter-skelter play. Both sides getting line breaks. Smith involved again. Smith, with his dinking kicks through, was causing absolute havoc in the Aussie back line. But then an English penalty at the breakdown. 15-3. What a lead. England at Twickenham just kind of coasting after last week, seemingly. But Tom Curry gets knocked out on the knee of Rob Valentini, who had a lot of carries. And then Australia actually managed to get some momentum. And that man, Suaalii, who's this big contracted, as I mentioned, debutant, his first ever professional game at rugby at Twickenham, has a hand in it, literally, because it's a one-handed pass after he draws in 2 defenders to get the ball to Tom Wright, who also just quietly had a pretty good game. And the Aussies, suddenly, that 15-3 deficit with the try to Wright is 15-10. Aussies are potentially coming back into it, although their scrum was getting pinged in the first half, so that led to an English penalty, 18-10. You feel like England are still looking pretty good value for their lead, but when England get free kicked after a scrum and the Aussies decide to play at some pace, that's when they look their best. Like the pace, not allowing that English defence to do what they did to the All Blacks last week, made the Aussies look more comfortable. Valentini, McDermott. McDermott was on for Gordon, whose face was covered in blood replacement. So McDermott, he loves a snipe. And he was running well at halfback. Wilson with a bunch of carries, and Wilson's the guy who finishes it off. Ikitau in the build-up as well, but Wilson finishes off a nice try. It's a good bit of build-up play from the Aussies. Like, just as I said, that quick ball, 18-17, suddenly we're a 1-point game. And then the Aussies even managed to take the lead before halftime when Cunningham South gave away another penalty. So that is, despite his 2 tries, 6 points directly that he costs his side. It's one of those ones where it's just the obstruction at the kick, which the refs seem to be really focusing on at the moment. We saw a lot of those penalties in the Ireland-New Zealand game yesterday. But yeah, 20 points to 18 at halftime. That's despite the fact that England went out to an absolute flying start. So good recovery from the Wallabies. They've finished the half with more possession but less territory. They've had 7 line breaks, which is not something that came easily for the All Blacks last week. So 7 line breaks to England's 4. England's only tackling at 83%. So that Aussie quick ball has actually looked pretty good. And interestingly, kicks from hand is really low. Only 8 each way. You know, we usually get 20 plus kicks per team on average for most of the Tier 1 teams. England go for usually 30, so to only have 8 in the first half is low. England might have actually benefited a little bit more from putting through a few more kicks because it was serving them pretty well, especially Marcus Smith. You can call him Marcus Kick because those kicks he was putting through were causing havoc, especially in the second half. Second half, once again, Suaalii. He's really good at the restarts, man. He can get such good aerial ball and is very good in the air, able to kind of catch restarts on Australian kicks, so that looks good. And a bunch of Aussie pressure. Could they convert it? Not initially. You had Tom Wright with a line break from turnover ball, and you had later on Suaalii after a dink through, able to kind of catch it and pass it at the same time, looking pretty bloody graceful, but no points to show. Took until like 49 minutes before that pressure finally did pay. The Aussies with a nice little line-out move to Fassler. The forwards with some big carries. And then Williams over in the corner. To be fair, I thought Spencer had put in a try-saving tackle because I thought Williams' foot had grazed the touchline before it kind of was grounded, but the TMO, after a painstakingly long look at it, decided there was not enough evidence to overturn the on-field decision. So that's one of those ones where it's the on-field call that's the decider. A missed conversion, but 25-18. I feel like England fans will be a little bit aggrieved by that one. But man, the Aussies were good value for the start of that second half. Right with another line break. His just like that left foot step of his was a thing of beauty stuff to see. Hoof through. He called for the hoof through when he got it to Lolosio. And it's McCreight on the ball chase who's able to gather it. They get held up, the Aussies, but Cowan-Dickie with a penalty conceded at the breakdown means 28-18. So 10-point lead for the Aussies. But England would go back in front. England on 55 minutes decided to chase in the game. Turned down a shot at 3. Go for touch, they maul it, and then Smith with that grubber of his. He was finding such good space in the back line, in the backfield for the English boys. Slightholm has come on for Faiwa Bosso. He's able to finish it off. So 28-23, it's a misconversion, but game on. And then Australia just couldn't escape their own 22. It was painful. You felt like England were kind of suffocating them out the game. England were pushing some direct carries, and then Slightholm got a second one on 68 minutes. It took some working. Like there was Stombrandt gave the evil eye to, was it Genge, when he kind of passed it into touch, or like Dombrandt with one hand on it. He was giving him the look of death because they just couldn't finish off. But they did finally get it through Slightholm. Dombrandt with the final pass for that one, to be fair as well. So 28 Australia, 30 England back in front from a 10-point deficit. Not bad. So England look like they have taken the momentum out of the game. They should go out and finish that game off. That's the way it feels. But they fluffed it, honestly. Turning point of this game. Aussie looking dead and buried. They got no ball, no territory. England are on attack. And then Ford, who's come on, his pass just doesn't link up with Lawrence. It's just dropped. Just kind of at the hip. Slightly behind him. Maybe overran it, but it's a drop ball, and then Callaway just pounces on it. Now, Callaway, in recent times, I felt like he's lost a bit of his gas, but he had enough gas for that turnover ball try, and suddenly Australia, on a 75th minute try, have got themselves a narrow lead. So, I'm thinking England are still in with a chance. Aussie are probably not going to score any more points because that one was kind of fluky. It's a 5-point lead. England need a try. They can maybe hold on for 5 minutes, but they can't even hold on for no time. 75th minute try for Callaway, 78th minute try for Itoje. I mean, England did so well to just take that game back after seemingly being like, you had it, you lost it, and then you took it back again. It's a crazy game, folks. Smith's kicks just causing havoc. Tom Wright has to sweep back on a Marcus Smith kick through. He gets caught and taking it back into his own goal area. It's a 5-meter scrum. They go through phases. The Itoje goes over. Drama. There's no knock on in the build-up. I thought they might have looked at that one because I think it was Spencer kind of picking it up from the deck. It looked like he might have just knocked it on. So I thought a couple of the tries maybe a little touch dodgy, but it's one each, so it kind of evens out. 37-35. Surely England have won it. Australia can't score from here. Right? There's only a minute to play. Well, there's a knock-on from the restart, so Australia have got a scrum. They try to go for a scrum penalty, big shove, but they don't get any reward from that one. They reset the thing. Then they get the scrum. The ball goes out. Bunch of phases up the guts. Not going too far. But when they shift it wide, Ikitau draws 2 guys, including Marcus Smith, who's been playing so well. And that one-handed pass from Ikitau to Jorgensen is an absolute peach. It's a thing of beauty. And then Jorgensen with the gas, he's able to go over in the corner. And then they even slot the conversion for good measure. 42 points to 37. What a bonkers one. Well done to you Aussie fans who got up at 2 in the morning or whatever it was for this one. I got up at 4 in the morning and it was thoroughly entertained. Both sides looked like they had lost it. Both sides managed comebacks, and then they both seemed to win it again, and they both lost it again. Australia won at last. What can I say? Possession finishes 50-50. The English edge of the territory 54-46. Clean breaks though, 13-6 to Australia. That is bonkers. You can't be conceding 13 clean breaks. Defenders beaten 35-24 to the Aussies as well. So some proper X factor on attack, which is something that's been lacking in this Aussie side. And given last week how England's defence was the best thing about their game against the ABs, quite a turnaround. I mean, turnovers won 7-3 to the Aussies, and England dropped. Well, not dropped, but his turnovers conceded 19-13, so a bit too, not secure on their own ball. Wilson, 16 carries, busy at captain, goes off for an HIA at the end of the game. Tom Wright, 4 line breaks, 86 metres, was sharp. Marcus Smith had 98 metres, sets up a try. His kicking game was honestly just causing so many problems for the Aussie defenders. Slight home finishes, 3 line breaks. Bell beats 9 defenders at loose head prop. He's a proper unit as well. Played 70 minutes. McCright, top Aussie tackler with 17. Itoje, top English tackler with 22. Crazy game. Crazy game. I'm off to watch more rugby. Hope you guys will join me for another video soon. England are playing South Africa. In their next game, the Australians are taking on Wales. Could be a couple of interesting ones. And yeah, pressure on England. After this result, this was the result they were supposed to get. But yeah, well done, Australia. Didn't see it coming. Love a game which goes down to the wire. Cracking stuff. You guys let us know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.